Hey, my name is Mike, and in this video, I'll be showing you how to make a professional print-on-demand store in just 30 minutes. And we're gonna go from A to Z, covering every step along the way, including choosing a home run product, creating a design that can sell really well, building a professional Shopify storefront, as well as managing the supplier side as well, working with a great supplier that can really automate fulfillment and reduce your returns, and ultimately hopefully automate your business more or less. So the idea here is that print on demand is a very popular business online. A lot of people are doing it, but in order to set it up right, it's really critical that you choose a really good product that's going to sell well and you set up your advertising correctly. And once you do those things and everything in the middle kind of falls into place, you should be having a fairly autonomous business, a fairly hands-off business more or less. With that being said, we have a lot to talk about in this video. Now, before we get into it, I want to mention that print on demand, much like drop shipping, is a very popular style of selling online because it allows for a lot of flexibility and a lot of scalability with very little risk for the actual business owner. So what you're doing is you create the storefront, you design it, you create the designs of the products, and you basically just manage the marketing aspect of it. Once you have people buying the product, they pay you, and then some portion of that, maybe if you have 3x margins, 1/3 of that would go to the supplier then. So you pay the supplier, they make the product, they manage all the fulfillment, all the logistics, and so you don't have to have inventory, you don't need to have any overhead of making a print shop or anything like that. All of that is managed by your supplier. So that allows you to start a business, a print-on-demand business, for as little as, well, honestly, less than $100. And in the beginning, it's important to iterate as much as possible, to find a good design, to find a good ad, to find a really good home run setup that earns you a lot of profit. And once you find a good setup, the next step is going to be to kind of scale up. And to scale up, that could sometimes cost a little bit of money to run more ads, to get more ads created. And so to help you guys get off the ground, we're doing a giveaway. We're giving away $3,000. So 3 individual winners will be selected. Each will get $1,000. And we're selecting one winner at the end of each month, starting this month. So in order to be eligible for this giveaway, you need to be 18 years or older. You have to create a Shopify print on demand store using Gelato. And then at the very end, once you make a single sale, it could even be technically a sale of your own. You could order a sample if you want, but just any sale at all, you need to send us a screenshot of the sale that you made, a screenshot of the order confirmation. Then we'll randomly select the winners, we'll confirm that they used the correct link, and we will contact you by email for your prize. So with that being said, all you have to do to enter is to use our affiliate link. And so the way we're tracking that is by going to the landing page right here. So if we go to santrelmedia.com/POD giveaway, that'll take you to this page right here. This explains all the rules, read through them. It explains when we're doing the giveaways, how we're going to select the winners. Like I said, it's at random, and we only need your email address. Honestly, like we're not sending you emails. It's just to select a winner. That's why we're doing this. So I'm going to enter my email address right now. We can confirm that we're 18 and older. And then you can say enter and get started with Shopify. And that should bring you to this landing page right here. Now on the right side, that might change in the future, but we just have to enter our email address now to get started with Shopify. So we're now on Shopify. So you can see in the top left, this is Shopify's official website. And we are going to create our Shopify account. So we can enter our email and create an account. Now it's going to ask you a couple questions. You can skip this if you don't want to do that, but I'm just going to go through and say, I am just starting. We'll say next. We're going to make an online store and we're going to say next. And we are going to be doing print on demand, and we'll say next. Now, like I said, it doesn't really matter if you skip that or if you chose any different answers. That's just going to change your dashboard a little bit and what Shopify is showing you. So now let's say sign up with email. We already entered an email, so now just make a password. And now it's building our dashboard. All right, so that brings us to our Shopify dashboard. Now we want to start off by selecting a plan. There's a lot of ways to do it. You have this banner on the top, you have this little pop-up on the bottom. You can click on either one of those, but just in case you don't see those for some reason, I'm gonna show you a third way to get to that. If you go to settings and then you click on plan, we can select our plan here. So I'm gonna say choose plan. Right now we have a 3-day trial, so it's important you get this as soon as possible so you don't lose all of your work and so you can capitalize on the $1 per month promotion that's going on in the beginning. So we have 4 different plans here. I was gonna say 3, but we have 4 different plans. I don't think this one's gonna make sense for most of you watching this video, unless, hey, if you have a huge store and $2,300 a month is what you want, go for it. But for most people out there, you're going to want the basic one. $29 per month is going to be just fine for most people out there. But as you start to scale and make more sales, it'll make sense to go to the more expensive plans, even though you spend an extra $40 a month, $50 a month or an extra $270 a month, you could potentially save that in the decreased credit card rates. So like I said, once you start getting more sales volume, you'll know when to switch. And I have a little calculator in the description below, just a link down there that you could use to figure out which plan's best for you. But getting started, like I said, everyone should pretty much start off on the basic plan. I'm going to enter my credit card information and we can subscribe for $1. Now, once we have our Shopify account, we should go down here to online store and we can choose a different template. So if we go to add theme, we'll visit the theme store and there's a lot that we can choose from for free. I think a couple dozen free ones as well as a lot of paid ones as well. So let's explore themes. We can say price. I recommend just navigating only the free ones at first. The paid ones might make sense for some businesses, but I'm going to go with the free ones right now. And we could say going through these all look pretty good. I always like this one for a one product website, which is pretty much what we're doing. So I'm going to go with this one right here. We'll say try theme, and it's going to add it to our store, which makes it very easy in the future to just swap out those images and that text with our own product information. Now, while that is adding the theme, I recommend removing the password. That way everything can connect very seamlessly and you don't have any kind of weird password blocking everything. Now, this is a step everyone always forgets. When you have the new theme added, you'll wonder why you still have Dawn up there, and that's because you have to click publish down here. That way, this will actually become your primary theme. So let's say publish. So now we have Shopify. That's the main hub of our entire business. Now we can build everything around that, starting off with our product. So in a new tab, we can type in santrelmedia.com/gelato, Gelato, or you can use the second link in the description down below, and then I'll bring you over to this page right here. So Santrel Media Gelato, we worked with them to get you guys an enhanced offer. So you are getting 50% off of your first sample order that you place, which does make you eligible, like I said before, for the giveaway. So if you want to save 50%, that's kind of nice. And this is, of course, an affiliate link as well, so it helps the channel. So let's say get offer. And now we can create our Gelato account. By the way, Gelato costs nothing to use. This is not going to charge you anything. You can just start off with Gelato. There's totally free plans out there. And so that's why we really like them. They also have a ton of products available. I'm going to sign up for email while I'm explaining this. They have a ton of products available, a lot of really cool tools. And actually, you have the ability to even make personalizable print-on-demand products. So for example, if you have a mug that says like, I love you, and then name on the bottom, everyone can customize the name for their spouse or whatever, their family, anyone, I don't know, their dog if you wanted. Just one of the many cool things you could do with Gelato. We can accept the terms and we can create an account. Click on the link in your email to confirm the account, and that'll bring you to this page right here. And again, we are going to say, what's our goal right now? We are launching an online business. We are maybe experienced with marketing, and you could choose, we want to do maybe some clothing, and we're going to be, you found out about us from influencer Santrel Media. You don't have to type that, but if you want to, go for it. And that brings you to the Gelato dashboard. Now, on the left side, we have quite a few different items right here. If we go to product catalog, this is really where we can choose which product is going to be best for us. Even if you have an idea of what you want, I would recommend browsing through here, checking out all the different categories, because it's not just going to be t-shirts and sweatshirts. You have clothing for adults, for kids. We have tote bags, wall art. That would be a really good thing to be personalizable as well. Maybe you could have like anniversary dates would be something you could sell there. We could do hats as well, phone cases, mugs, photo books, a ton of different stuff you can sell through Gelato, and they're able to do a lot of stuff for you. Calendars as well. Pretty cool one there. So let's just say we want to sell a Gildan 5000 t-shirt, a pretty common t-shirt. If we go to men's clothing, we go to t-shirts, should be Gildan 5000. Yeah, there it is. Gildan 5000 heavyweight unisex crew neck t-shirt. That's a really common one. A lot of people sell that. And so we've got quite a few colors here, a very competitive price, and it's fulfilled in 14 different countries with quite a few different sizes as well. So let's click on that, and we can choose, let's just say the first one I want to sell is just going to be white. But that brings us to the point where we need a design. Now, your design could be a lot of different things. If you already have a following on social media, maybe you have a brand and you want to kind of stick to that. Maybe you want to make something that's more funny, which is what I'm going to aim for in this video, something a little bit more universal. Or maybe you want to choose a design that really targets an up and coming trend. For example, if you know that elections are coming up, that's a really big thing in a lot of countries. It's definitely huge in America. And so maybe you want to target things that people might be wearing around election season. Or maybe you know it's like playoff baseball. Now, obviously, you can't be using any copyrighted terms. You can't be using team names and things like that. but you can get creative and make some really interesting, very, very sellable products that are related to like your favorite team in the playoffs. Maybe it's like a saying that somebody on the team said, maybe it's something like that. So I recommend brainstorming at least a dozen different niches that you would be involved in. So maybe you are a baseball fan, maybe you are an investor, maybe you like to work in your garden, stuff like that. All of those, name things that you would identify with yourself. I think it's really beneficial for you to be within the market you're trying to sell to. And then within each of those, think about which ones have the most disposable income, are the most passionate about it, and most likely to place an order through your store. And then once you find maybe 2 or 3 niches that you think would be best, brainstorm several different designs for each of them. And it could even be helpful to use ChatGPT, for example, just to kind of brainstorm and stretch out the possibilities of what your design could actually look like. Now, once you have your design, you can go to canva.com and make your design. You can also make it right here within Gelato, but for more complex designs, I like to go to Canva. It's free to use, and you can download your designs and use them on Instagram and anywhere else you might want to use them. So from Canva, the good thing here is you can actually type in basically whatever you want. So t-shirt, there's probably going to be a template for that t-shirt, and we can have a lot of different designs. So you could just look at any one of these is going to be a good template for designing a t-shirt, but I actually already have a design that I want to use in this video. So this is the design I want to go with. I think it's kind of funny. I think it's very relatable. A lot of people like Chick-fil-A, but for some reason they always seem to want to go on Sundays when Chick-fil-A is closed. And so I always thought it'd be funny if somebody made Sunday Filet, where it's only open on Sundays, which happens to be when I think people want Chick-fil-A the most. So I think this would be really funny. A satire, obviously, for a t-shirt. And so I can just go to share on the top. I can download this, and you can choose a transparent background if you want, or a white background or whatever, and keep it as the highest quality that you think is necessary. Then back on Gelato, we can choose either embroidery, doesn't really make sense for this, or DTG, which I'm going to do so it prints actually on the t-shirt. So let's just say white. We're going to say add to store. And then we can click on direct integrations. It's going to set up Shopify, and you're going to install that on your Shopify store. We'll say open app. Now we'll leave this selected to automatically, and we can say create a new product. Now, unfortunately, that's going to take us back to that step we were just at. So let's go back to the Gildan 5000. We found the t-shirt we like. We'll say next. We'll close out of this actually, and we can upload our file. So we're going to choose a file, that image that I just made. So then we have our image on the left side. We can click and drag that over. It'll drop it into there. It says progress saved successfully. That's good. And so once you have the design you're pretty happy with, you can also obviously resize it or stretch it out. On the left side, we've got tools here. We can add our own text or kind of customize the design here. And of course, Personalization Studio, like I said before, if you wanted to add like somebody's name or something like that, for example, you can add personalizable layers here as well. So I'm going to say continue to mockups. And there should be a couple mockups we can use for free. The other ones, you can see the little crown right there. We would have to upgrade to Gelato Plus or Gold or whatever if we wanted to use those. But for now, I'm just going to stick with this one right here to keep the cost low. Like I said, we're starting this for less than $100. So far, we're actually only at $1. So I think we're doing pretty well on that. The rest of the budget we could use on advertising or something. So let's go over to continue to details. Now we can name this. And we can add our description down here as well. So definitely be sure to populate this with as much as you want. And then down here we can choose, we have a table showing the sizes to help people choose what size fits them. The care instructions, I definitely recommend including that so people know how to care for it. And then down here, we can choose any other settings we might have. I'm going to say continue to prices. And Gelato does this really cool thing where they allow you to make the price for every individual size or every individual color as well. And you can choose what your margins are actually going to be. So we could say right now, we want 65% margins. Let's say 65%. We can say update, and it makes all of the prices according to that. So it looks like the retail price on all of these is going to be $23.26. The larger ones are a little bit more expensive. 5XL, unfortunately, is the most expensive there. And you could actually include the shipping cost as well in your profit calculation if you wanted to, or you could actually customize all of these at once just by changing the price up on the top. So let's say we want 72% margins. That looks at still under $30 for a t-shirt. I think that's not too bad. And we can say publish. And then you'll see right here, this little bar should change to, I believe, a little green dot there once it actually connects and syncs with our store. And there we go. Not a green dot, but a green number showing that all 8 products were connected successfully. So now we can go back to our Shopify store. I've got that on the first tab here. If we refresh this, you should be able to go to products, and we should see our first product right there. So that's great. Status is active. And now what we can do, now that we have that, this makes it incredibly easy. If we go down to online store on the left side, and we can then customize our store. Remember, we chose this theme right here. You can choose any one you want, but I chose this one. Let's click on customize, and this makes it incredibly easy. So let's close out of that, close out of that. And now, very, very easy. This segment right here is a featured product. Now, the way the Shopify builder works is it has these different sections. So we have our header on the top. We have a featured product section. We have just an image section. We have our testimonial section. And you can customize all of this on the sections tab on the left. So right here, you can see these are all the ones we have. If I wanted to add another one, I just go between two and I click on plus and I add a section in there. So I have this right here. If I click on it, we get the editor. I'm going to select a product. I'm going to select this product, and that's going to populate it right there. That looks pretty good. That's a really good start. Now you can change a little bit about this, but I think that looks pretty good as it is. I'm going to change the background and the font and everything in a second, but let's click on back. And this little thing on the top, I don't like that. It makes our product a little bit lower than I want it to be. So we can click on this. It outlines it in blue, and I can delete that. Now, I'm not going to get into every detail on how to use the Shopify editor. I have other videos on how to do that, a full free training on just how to use Shopify's builder. But more or less, if you click on things like the section, you can either delete it, you can hide it, you can duplicate it, you can move it up and down as well. And when you click on it on the left side, you have all of the options like how to change images, change the size, different things like that. We can also click on back and see kind of like the hierarchy in text form like this. So if I want to get rid of this image banner, which I do, I'm going to click on delete. Now we have testimonials right there, and we can add in testimonials once we have some. And on the bottom, we have our footer, which says subscribe to our email list. I don't really want to have that, so I'm going to remove that. And our website, more or less, is going to get the job done. Now remember, this is only going to be a 30-minute video, so I'm going to go to theme settings on the left side. We're going to change the colors. Scheme 1 is the top right here, and I want to change the background to white. I just want a white background. That looks good. That's really what I'm looking for right there. We could change other colors like the button colors and stuff like that. Maybe this should be red. Maybe that would make more sense. Red's a little bit kind of, I don't know, it gives me the ick. I don't really like red on this. It kind of just feels like a scammy button. So I'm going to go with maybe a dark brown like that. I think that looks pretty good. This right here, I want to be more of a darker brown as well. And that is going to be the first color scheme. Now you have a bunch of different color schemes. You can change all 4 or 5 of them if you wanted to. Like this block right here is scheme 3. So we could change the background on that one. Maybe that's going to be dark brown. Maybe this dark brown right here ties it together a little bit better. You can see it's also used on the top. So now let's click back. We can also change the font, the typography, everything else. I think this looks fine. There's nothing I want to change there. Like I said, the goal here is to make a minimum viable product right here. This is going to be as much as I think I need to do on this to test the product and see how well it's actually performing without spending a ton of effort perfecting this web page. That's something we can do and iterate on in the future. Now, one last thing I want to change here is the announcement bar on the top. I don't want it to say welcome to our store. So if we go back to the section layout, click on this right here, we can change what it's going to say. And I want this to say save 10% with code chicken. And we can add a link to the product, which is going to be this product right here. And we can save. Now, there are a couple key settings we need to configure. I'm going to exit out of here. It brings us back to the Shopify dashboard. Let's click on settings on the bottom. First, we need to name our store. On the top, store details, we're going to click the pencil icon. We're going to rename it. I'm going to say save. Next up, we can go down to payments, make sure we're able to accept payment from people. I recommend setting up Shopify payments as well as PayPal. You can set up other ones as well if you wanted to. I'm just going to configure these two. We can submit the details on that. Now, once you have your payment set up, we don't have to worry about shipping and delivery. Gelato takes care of that, which is great. We don't really have to worry about anything else on here except domains. We want to have a professional domain for this. So it's not just like 490BBA, whatever. We want to buy a new domain. You can connect an external domain if you wanted to. I just find it easier to buy it through Shopify. So I'm going to say sundayfilet.com. Look at that. It's actually available, which is awesome. So $15 for domain, $1 for Shopify, nothing for Gelato. We're looking pretty good. $16 so far to set up this entire store. So I'm going to buy this domain. Then you can go to your email, of course, and verify it. And of course, down here, I want to click on policies. Now, Shopify does this really cool thing where they allow you to use templates for your policies. So they really populate most of it for you. Obviously, read through this and change anything that you need to, but it gives you a really good start on, setting up like your terms of service and your privacy policy and your return policy and stuff like that. So now I'm going to say save. And we can close out of the settings. So remember that little announcement bar on the top. If we go over to discounts, we can create a discount. I believe that was an amount off product. So we can say 10% off. And this is going to be discount code chicken was the one I had. Percentage, we could say 10% off. So when people use that, no minimums, we could say 1 per customer, something like that. And we can save the discount. We could have it apply to every product on the home page. So it goes by collection and we'll save that discount. So now we have an option. We can either place an order through our Shopify store, or we can place an order as a sample order directly through Gelato. Either way, it's going to be very beneficial, in my opinion, to have a physical sample so you can see what the quality's like, so you can understand what the packaging looks like, so you can understand what the customer goes through for waiting or, timing, everything like that. You want to know what the customer experience actually is going to be like. So to get your 50% discounted sample, like I said, what I recommend doing is going back to Gelato, go to orders, go to new order. We can say add product. We're going to select from your store, my store, of course, and we're going to choose, let's say I want to order a large. We're going to say choose, and now we can set that up. You can see discount right now, it's going to charge $3, and so total excluding tax, $3.14 to get this product in our hands so we can actually see it. So I can say continue to shipping, and we can order this product like that. Now, another way of doing this, the alternate way, it's going to cost more money, but of course it's going to you. You get that money back. So the other option is to go to your domain. So I'm going to say sundayfilet.com, and there we go. There's our website. Look at that. That looks so professional. So somebody could just buy this with PayPal, or they could add it to the cart. Let's kind of go through the cart process. We'll say checkout, and it'll bring you to the checkout page. I think this looks really good. We could say chicken. We'll try that and say apply, and it looks like 10% was taken off. That works well. $2.90 they saved right there, and then they can pay with either Venmo or PayPal. Again, really nice. You could just pay with Venmo. That makes it super easy. Let's try that. Let's say pay with Venmo, and they could just scan that. I'm just going to scan that on my phone. Wow. And then I just go over to my app. I authorize the payment. It has the shipping, has everything. I can review the order. And then back on my laptop, I just have to choose the shipping method. Flat rate looks good. And I say pay now. That's a really easy customer experience. Wow. And then as a customer, it gives me this really nice page. It shows me a map right there. I can download Shop to track the package. It shows me some details on the bottom, and I could just go back and continue shopping as well. This looks so good. I love this setup right here. And then once an order is made, if you go back to Gelato and you go to orders, you'll see right there, Shopify order ID number, the date, who the customer was, the destination, pending, and it'll tell you when the payment went through and when the fulfillment was actually done. So that's awesome. And all the money is going to be managed through either Shopify payments or PayPal, depending on how they chose to pay you. But Gelato is going to automatically get paid here. They're $8.83 or 8.83 euros, it looks like. So congratulations, you now have a functioning print-on-demand store. The next step is going to be marketing this, but before we get into the marketing, I want to kind of close out how to enter that drawing for the $3,000 we're giving away. So there's two things you need to send us to prove that you are entering the drawing. So when you first submitted your email in the beginning of this video, you should have received a message, an email from us saying your entry is initiated. Now the next step is going to be to prove that you set up your store and made a sale. Like I said, the sale could be a sample as well. So on a Mac, you're going to hit Command-Shift-4. If you're on a Windows laptop, you just hit the Windows key and type in snipping tool and use that. But you want to take a screenshot. When you go to Gelato, you go to orders, just a screenshot of your order ID right here showing that it was fulfilled and that your order actually did happen, either your order or the first sale or whatever it might have been. That'll show up over in orders right here. Now, I also recommend downloading the Gelato app on your phone. You can just scan this little QR code on either your Android or iOS device. And that way you're able to manage your orders a lot quicker. Speed is going to be absolutely everything. Getting these out to customers as fast as possible is really going to help the experience on your store for the end users. All right, so let's talk about marketing this product. There's really three main ways to do this. In an ideal world, you would have, millions of followers and it'd be really easy. You could just go and sell it to your followers. And that's something that a lot of influencers already do anyway with a lot of their merch. But let's take a more realistic view here. There's three ways you can market this. You can do this organically, publishing all your own content. There's pros and cons to that. Secondly, you could do this through partnerships with other people who do have a following. This has a lot of advantages. I think for many people might be the best route. And then the third route is to put some money behind it and run some ads on TikTok or something like that. Now, in this video, I'm not going to actually show how to set up TikTok ads. I have other videos on how to do that if you decide that's the right route for you. But I really highly encourage you to run the numbers on what your margins will be and how much you can actually afford to spend per customer when you're running ads while still being profitable. By this, I mean, if your margins are $10 and it costs you $20 in ads to get one single customer, then it's not really going to be worth it. You're running a business that's losing money, which is not a business. So I would typically recommend saving that as the third option until you really validate your design and find out that people definitely do like it and share it organically and buy it. And then you can start promoting it with ads. And you can be a little more confident then that the returns are going to be higher. So taking a look at the first two, organic posting, this one is going to take some time to build up an audience. It's something that I recommend everybody does, whether you're drop shipping or doing print on demand or basically any business out there. I think it's really beneficial to have your own media outlet. One, because you're able to interact with people a lot more intimately. You're able to get, some real-time feedback from fans, and it doesn't cost you any money to do. It's really one of the best ways to market, but it definitely has a huge learning curve, as I said before. And then we get to the middle option, somewhere between full paid advertising and full-blown organic. And this is going to be working with other people who do have a following and using their following essentially, or using them to share your product with their following. And so there's a couple options here. You could look at this through like maybe an up and coming band. You could sponsor them and they could wear your merch. This could be something like smaller creators, up and coming creators, people that are in the niche that really know a lot about it, but maybe they don't have a giant following just yet. So you could send them the product, you could send them your clothing, your shirt, your mug, whatever, and have them recommend it. And it could either be in exchange for just the product, so that's very affordable for you, or maybe you work out some deal where you pay them some amount of money to wear it in every video or something like that, or mention it in every video. And this can be a really great way to fast track the exposure and speed up your iterations by obviously getting more feedback once one creator shares it. So unlike organic, this is going to be a lot faster. But unlike the full-blown TikTok ads, you don't have to pay for every single person to see that in an ad. Instead, you could just give it to 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 creators and get a lot of exposure. And ideally, that exposure would even be evergreen as well for videos that continue to rank in search or just are online for years to come. So one of the benefits of print on demand is that it is so flexible and you can really use your imagination on how you can market this, what kind of products you can make, how custom it's going to be for each individual user. Do you want it to be personalizable and different things like that? So I hope you found this video helpful. Just kind of rehashing one more time how to wrap up your entry into the giveaway. So what you want to do is go over to your email and you should have received an email that looks something like this. So if you scroll down, going through the steps, you have to make a store with Shopify and set it up using Gelato, like we showed you in this video. If you ever want to revisit the tutorial, this is the link right there. You have to make one sale, and that's kind of linking back to Gelato if you didn't already make a sale. And then the third thing is to reply to this email. This is the most important part of your entry. Reply to this email with a screenshot of your orders page from Gelato showing at least one completed and fulfilled order on Gelato. So just go to the bottom, click reply, and send that screenshot over. So I wish you all the best of luck with your print-on-demand stores. Thank you again for watching this video, and I'm excited to be one of your many customers on your store.